So what if I told you that most people in your church want to be generous? And you might be saying, well, no, they don't. Like, not enough people give, right? But do you really think people are sitting there going, no, I don't want to give anything to this church? I don't think so. Actually, the problem is often invisible barriers inside your church, sometimes inside your church systems. And I want to go through 5 silent giving killers and how to fix them in this video. The first silent barrier, you actually make it hard to give. Online giving can sometimes feel clunky, right? Like if you go to your website or go to your church app, maybe there's a lot of clicks. You got to create a login. You have a bad mobile experience. And people end up quitting halfway or never finishing. Why? Because it's frustrating. Or maybe you still do analog giving, right? It's like, leave your cash or check in the offering basket. Well, these days, an estimated 86% of all retail transactions in America are digital. That includes credit cards, Apple Pay, buy now, pay later. Only 14% of all transactions in the culture are cash or check. What do you do in light of that? Well, the answer is you got to streamline your giving. You got to have one page, one click, mobile first, recurring options up front. If you make it easy, you take down a barrier. Second silent barrier, unclear financial reporting, right? People maybe don't know where their money is going. It just kind of disappears. And then they read the headlines that all pastors are swindlers, etc. And the reports are too vague. Maybe your report says we're fine financially, or too complex. You've got 42 spreadsheets in your annual report that nobody, not even the accountant, is reading. So what's the fix? Well, keep it simple. One story, one chart, a page with baptisms and growth and life change stories in the annual report, and more detailed quarterly reports for your regular donors. Third invisible barrier, you only talk about money when you need it. Now, this is a big one. Money often, I fell prey to this in the early days of ministry too. Money only shows up in sermons when there's a crisis or a campaign. And what that does, this is a terrible mistake, okay? It trains people to connect giving with pressure, not with vision. So what do? Well, take a look at your calendar and preach a money series when you're not trying to raise money, and make it about what you want for people, not just what you want from them. So you want to help them get out of debt. You want to help them figure out Finance 101. And believe it or not, this shocked me. It's like we did a budgeting course for people, and it was kind of like basically how not to spend more money than you make. That was rocket science for most people. It still is. So you want to offer them real financial help. You want to give them biblical counsel, and you want to do it not when you're trying to raise money, but at a time when you don't. You want to make it a practice to talk about generosity all year and connect it to mission, to discipleship and celebration, not just budgets. So talk about money when you're not trying to raise it. Now, if what I'm sharing in this video resonates with you, this might too. You cast vision, and this time you get a response. You preach faithfully, and you start seeing change lives. But when it comes to giving and funding your mission, you get up there with that same passion, and you hit a wall. You ask your congregation to invest in the mission, everybody starts to squirm, the room goes quiet. You launch a giving campaign, and by Monday, you got a bunch of emails with pushback. Hey, why are you talking about this? I have lived in that tension too, but here's what I've learned. Leading a generous, fully funded church isn't about gimmicks or pressure. That's exactly why I partnered with Craig Rochelle, Chris Hodges, Ashley Woolridge, Dan Clark, and others to create Fund the Future Masterclass. It's a step-by-step program to shift your church from transactional giving to transformational generosity. And in this program, you'll get equipped to lead with vision, strategy, and very practical tools to grow giving in a way that's sustainable as well as spirit-led. No more awkward asks or tactics that don't work. Enrollment in the masterclass is open now, so just click the link below this video and you can get instant access to insights from today's top leaders. All right, the fourth silent barrier to giving, you rarely say thank you. So gifts sometimes go into a black hole in the church. There's no follow-up, no gratitude, no celebration, and as a result, donors feel unseen and underappreciated. So what do you do about that? Well, make thank you a habit. Host appreciation events. Send handwritten notes. Celebrate generosity when you're not asking for anything. And please, please, please thank people who gave. All right, the final, fifth, silent giving killer, inconsistent follow-up. So here's the problem. Somebody gives their first gift to your church and crickets. No thank you, no acknowledgement, no connection. They wonder if you even got it and whether they're going to get a tax receipt. Meanwhile, every other nonprofit they support sends immediate confirmation and gratitude. And this is what they're thinking. I gave $500 to the building fund. I never heard a word, not even an automated email. I honestly thought the transaction failed. So what do you do about that? Well, how about this? An automated email within 60 seconds or 60 minutes of any online gift. Personalized, grateful, specific about where it's going. Or even better, a handwritten note for first-time givers in addition to the digital acknowledgement. Yeah, it takes time, but that's the point. Or maybe a personal call or text from someone on your team for significant increases in giving. And you might want to create a first-time giver follow-up system, 90 days of intentional connection. I mean, there's a million ways to solve this problem. The bottom line, when people are generous, acknowledge it. Fast, warmly, and specifically. Generosity thrives where friction dies. Audit your system this week, pick one silent giving killer, and fix it. You'll be surprised how quickly generosity grows when you clear the barriers. And don't forget to click the link below this video to check out the Fund the Future Masterclass. That's where you'll learn how to build a culture of generosity at your church from today's top leaders.